Sports Mtaani tunawasuka maneno michezo from the eye of the people. Henry back at it again with another story. Yes, soccer still. The last 10 days, Africa has seen a stream of qualifiers for the African Cup of Nations that's to be hosted with Morocco, Kenya, in East Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Southern Sudan. Wow, these countries have had good outings in soccer, and we appreciate all the good performances that have been showcased over the last 10 days. Wow, Kenya put the cream on the cake when they were able to beat highly ranked Namibia 2-1 in a match that was played all the way in South Africa. Remember, Kenya is grouped with Cameroon, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. Unfortunately, in this group, it is only Cameroon that's playing high international matches at home due to a FIFA sanction that has been put for Zimbabwe, Namibia, and Kenya because of their facilities that do not meet the FIFA standards of hosting an international match. The reasons are known. Some facilities have the grass or playing surface that are not up to standard. Other facilities, it's about the amenities that they have that don't meet those standards. So it is up to these nations to ensure that they know that to host an international match, you need to have a playing surface or a facility that adheres to these rules. At the end of the day, soccer has to be played, fans have to watch, and the world moves on. So Cameroon has an advantage so far. They are the only nation that is hosting in this group J that's hosting these games at home. Kenya are playing her games away in Uganda. They've hosted 2 games against Zimbabwe and Namibia in a foreign neighboring land of East Africa. At the same time, Zimbabwe hosted their game against Cameroon in Uganda, which they played to a barren draw. But remember, Namibia, on their home games against Kenya, they took it to the Orlando Stadium in South Africa. Unfortunately for Namibia in this game, Kenya came out blazing. They led 2-0 for the big part of this match, only to concede when the game was about to end at the 95th minute with a goal that was scored, wow, through a free kick, and that was a blazing one. Kenya ended up winning 2-1 in that game. At the end of the day, a win is a win. The most important thing is the top 2 teams in these groups will qualify for the finals of the African Cup of Nations that is going to be hosted by Morocco. This is a big one. The East African teams came out blazing. I'm telling you, we saw Tanzania beat Guinea 2-1 in Dar es Salaam. That was a big one. Uganda also smashed Congo 3-0. That was another big one. Remember, in the first round of qualifiers, Uganda, who are in the same group with Southern Sudan and South Africa, drew 2-2 in a game that they should have won that was played in the South. What a good weekend. Rwanda, we saw Rwanda are in a tough group, and that group, remember, in the first round of qualifiers, Rwanda was able to hold Nigeria. What a big one for East Africa. What a weekend or a week it was for the African qualifiers. One thing we know for Kenya, they have a tough 2 fixtures that are coming in the round 3 and 4 that are gonna be against the number 1 and favorite ranked in Group J, that is Cameroon. These matches are going to be played between in October, between the dates of, I believe, the dates of 9th and 15th of October. And Kenya are going to be playing a back-to-back fixtures against Cameroon. The first match will be hosted in Yaoundé. Then the next match, 4 days later, only 4 days later, is going to be Kenya's turn to host the Indomitable Lions. Wow. If you saw the game between Zimbabwe and Cameroon that was played in Kampala, Uganda. This game against Kenya should not be taken close to the capital of Kenya's neighbors in East Africa. The fans that came out to celebrate Manchester United goalkeeper Onana, wow, they made this fixture a home fixture for Cameroon. And Kenya, as neighbors to Uganda, you cannot allow such an important game that Kenya deserves to have an advantage to be brought in a field or a pitch where Cameroon is going to be feeling as if they are the home team. We saw the game between Kenya and Ivory Coast. That game with Cote d'Ivoire. Wow, the Ugandans never came to celebrate or to try and support Kenya. And Ivory Coast, we know they are a current African champion. It's a big team, but at the end of the day, it was on empty stadiums. No one from Uganda, the fans, came to give us support. At the end of the day, when you play such an important match with a team that you're equal or leading with in the group, you need to have an advantage. Cameroon has had a good outing both in the World Cup qualifiers and in the African Cup qualifiers. Remember, in the World Cup qualifiers, they've won 2 matches and drawn 2 matches in that pool. They've not lost in that pool. Same as what's happening here. They beat Namibia at home and now they drew with Zimbabwe. So they're having a good run, and anybody who's part of the management or organizing the tournament in terms of choosing the fixture of where the Kenyan national team is going to be playing this match, you should reconsider taking this game in Uganda, probably take it to Tanzania or as far as South Africa for the best team to win on a neutral venue. Teams participate on these tournaments on a home and away basis, and that home basis is supposed to give you an advantage, not a disadvantage. When you saw Cameroon play Zimbabwe, that advantage they had because of the 12th man should not be accorded when they're playing in a fixture that Kenya is supposed to have an advantage. But we say we wish all the teams the best in the next round of qualifiers, but as a precaution, in the next round of qualifiers, Kenya is playing the first game, I believe, on the 10th, if not 11th, in Yaoundé. Then the next round of matches will be played on the 15th or 16th, thereabout. So if you're the person who's organizing, or the federation who's looking for Kenya to qualify, even though there are 2 teams that are qualifying for the African Cup of Nations, this third round of matches should give Harambee Stars an advantage over Cameroon. And this is Henry, and I'm out. See you on the next one. Take it.